Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News, and I'm very pleased to have with me today Jay Pearce, Lifecycle Management with SmarTrak.ai. Jay, thank you for joining me today.
Glad to be here, Doug.
So this is our third segment on an ongoing series about SmarTrak and how SmarTrak is opening up new opportunities for Cisco partners, specifically in the area of managing those renewals. Today we're going to be talking about clean data before artificial intelligence. So Jay, we're going to dive into that in just a second. But first of all, what is SmarTrak.ai?
SmarTrak AI is a lifecycle and adoption vehicle, right? It's used, when used properly, it is going to help you out as a reseller, manage your Cisco motion and practice. Whether you want to, whatever you know about hardware, software, and services, contracts that are expiring, driving profitability on those rebates that you get from Cisco, and much, much more.
We left our last segment. I asked sort of a simple question, which is, why don't we just take the data that the information that Cisco is giving us, dump it into AI, and then we have a plan? And you said it's probably not such a good idea.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Cisco provides fantastic data on what for you as a partner or other partners have sold. The challenge where a lot of conversations happen with your customers on is, oh, I bought this hardware, but I've already ripped it out of my network 2 years ago, but it's still showing out here that needs to be refreshed. What SmarTrak AI does is that not only do we give you as a partner reseller the line of sight to, but we give you a unique capability where now you can go work hand in hand with your end customer and start to clean up what's been sold, what's on the wire, what needs to be refreshed, and what needs to be renewed. When we think about where Cisco is on one of their largest refresh cycles, AKA LDOS, last day of support, it doesn't just as easy as that start there. It's understanding, okay, great, here's my total LDOS or hardware refresh opportunity, but what do we truly know about this hardware that's been sold? Is it still in production? Is it need to be refreshed? Has it been pulled out of production? And I think one of the biggest challenges that exists today is, before you start leveraging AI, get a clean data set, validate what you have with your customer. Is this in production? Is this going to be refreshed? Once you get that data in and you get it cleansed, it's whatever you do as a partner in that conversation with your client to get to as close to what it should look like from a North Star perspective. If you build AI and build models around AIs, around data that is not clean, you're going to get a lot of false positives. You're going to cause a lot of frustration with your clients, and you're going to lose a lot of that confidence into you as it relates to what do you know about me and what needs to be done.
You know, in our discussion about this podcast, you mentioned something called one source of truth. What does that mean?
One source of truth. I mean, obviously there's lots of different sources, but when you think about SmarTrak AI and the source of truth, when you really roll up your sleeves and you get underneath the data that's out there, truly about all the hardware, the software, and the services, and all the subsequent contracts that support all that, when you tune that together, and together is a key word, together with Cisco, together with the end customer, now you're starting to understand this could be and is the single source of truth as it relates to what do we know about the customer. Most customers don't purchase their hardware or software or services from one partner. But when you mend all that together, like what SmarTrak AI does, now it becomes stronger and it becomes more trustworthy as it relates to, here's what I know about this customer, regardless of the partners that have sold the hardware, software, and services. And then whoever's driving that conversation, Doug, with the end customer is going to get a more realistic view of what needs to be done in the account. And then how does the customer need to transform? And then now how can I go leverage the artificial intelligence that's sitting on top of or below, depending on how you want to look at it, on all this data, and to go build an account plan and strategy. and then connect that conversation with your client and with Cisco together to say, here's what the customer needs to go do, but here's what the customer is trying and how the customer is trying to transform.
I noticed and I'll call everyone's attention to the Cisco logo right behind you, earned by SmarTrak. And I'm thinking about that logo in connection with another thing that we were just talking about here, which is the human in the loop issue. So, connect the dots for me. Where does the human in the loop connect with that logo and this process of renewal?
I think the way it connects, Cisco creates a great product, many different products and services. But where the human element comes in is tying everything back to customer outcomes. If you are not connecting on what the customer is trying to solve for from an outcomes and a requirement standpoint, it doesn't matter what product you have and how good that product is. If the customer never achieves their outcomes, then the product was a fail. If the customer never achieves their outcomes, then that relationship is probably not in the best spot. And I think what's really important in these conversations with clients is truly understanding the voice of the customer. When you understand the voice of the customer and the challenges that they're trying to solve for, and it's more than just year one, the question you want to ask them is, how are you trying to transform over the next 5 years? And how is all this hardware, software, and service that you are buying going to help you transform with what you're trying to do with your own internal workforce and what you're trying to accomplish in the marketplace based off of what you do in that segment?
Jay, again, I want to thank you for joining me on this section of our podcast series. Next time, we're going to be talking about making Cisco customer success profitable. But for now, where can we learn more about SmarTrak?
Absolutely. We got great information on our website, smartrak.ai. Follow us on LinkedIn, smartrak.ai. We would love to be able to talk to you if these things are a challenge. I would love to be able to talk to you as well and understand those needs.
Jay, I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. We're going to hear about that success.
Thanks, Doug.